everyone's aware that my camera will be off for this duration, just because I have a few Wi-Fi issues, so I just don't want anything to unexpectedly cut off. So I'll be turning off my camera just when presenting.
That is totally fine. Thank you for letting us know. Okay, so Team 5, you're set to go. Or sorry, Team 10, my bad, misspoke. Team 10, you are set to go now.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our presentation for the MIT FutureMakers 2022 Create-a-thon. Our team, significantly different, worked on the deep learning track, and the application we built is Mental Health Evaluator. Our application aims to route social media posts for potential mental health disorders. This is not a complete diagnosis, but rather an estimate based on the history of users' posts. Moving on, our team comprises of 5 members ranging from rising seniors to undergraduates. Starting on the left, we have Benjamin, Isha, Noor, Amag, and Mina. A special thanks to our mentor that helped us throughout this program, Stephen.
The theme we chose was number 5, physical health and mental well-being management. We specifically referred to the mental health section of the theme, and we chose this theme as it aligns to our idea of diagnosing mental health problems. According to the World Health Organization, 280 million people are affected by depression, but only 1 out of 5 people seek treatment and/or help. It's important for people to be able to identify if they have feelings leading to anxiety and/or depression so they can reach out for help if they need it. Through social media, individuals express their thoughts and feelings daily, specifically through Reddit with community subreddits. We find that certain comments illustrate that the symptoms of mental health disorders are evident. Our application analyzes the comments of these users and estimates the correlating emotions and possible risk of mental health disease. We decided to use the social media platform Reddit since it has targeted subsections and communities of comments to analyze, such as r/sad or r/depression.
Mental health is demonstrated as a huge issue in modern day society, and understanding the hundreds of possible diseases is crucial. It's important to stabilize any mental health disorders for positive behaviors, feelings, and attitudes. Our application bridges that gap as it estimates a person's mental illness through the comments section of a post on social media.
According to the Child Mind Institute, users who spend the most time on social media are 66% likely to have depression, compared to those who spend the least time, 13% likely. So this is why it's really important that social media users are able to identify signs of depression so they can reach out for help early on. Our app is targeted not only for those who have already been diagnosed with depression, but rather targeted for anyone who uses social media frequently. The use of social media has increased more and more. From our survey of 39 responses, we found that 84.6% use social media on a daily basis for more than an hour. And we found that 64.1% of those we surveyed use Reddit in some way. With 52 million daily Reddit users, we found that analyzing Reddit posts was a good way to start to try and identify risks of mental health illnesses through social media.
Okay, so we plan to expand our app to make emotion and mental health estimates for multiple social media platforms, but to start, we decided to focus on Reddit. So some of the steps we took in order to solve this problem include first tokenizing the sentences into separate words, then finding common words within each sentence, next testing out these words with other similar depressive subreddits to see if the words show a pattern, and lastly, analyzing these words in real-life data to estimate whether people have depressive symptoms or not.
Unfortunately, we didn't get enough time to implement application, but we were able to create the framework using Figma, which I'll be showing now.
Hello and welcome to the Mental Health Evaluator app. So to start, you'll be greeted by this screen with a quick disclaimer and summary of our purpose. So to get started, you'll be asked to either create a new Reddit account or log in with an existing one. After you choose your language preference, you'll be asked to choose a nickname so that you can stay anonymous, as well as choose any mental illnesses that you feel are applicable or you feel comfortable selecting. You will then be greeted by a bot that will ask you for your current state of mind. You'll then be given two options to either go to your Reddit community page or to talk to your therapist. The community page reflects the feed that appears on your personalized Reddit page and also posts that are mental health related. You can interact with posts or post something of your own. Next, the therapist page allows you to connect with therapists in your area, view their profiles, and book appointments, as well as call them in case of emergency. And finally, you can view your journal, where you can see the mood tracker that allows you to track your moods, stress levels, and sleep patterns over time, as well as view detected emotions and risk of depression identified by our machine learning model.
Okay, so moving forward, this is our model and code. So basically what we did was we initially, of course, had to import the libraries, but then afterward we used pandas to read our data set. And we got our data set from Kaggle, and this data set basically describes Reddit, subreddit depression and suicide watch posts. And then afterward, we tokenized the sentences. So there were two labels. There's a label, and then there's a text label. The label was the suicide watch or the depression label, and the text was the post under the subreddit. And here I just printed out the padded sequence, word index, and total words. And then in conclusion, I created a model, or we created a model. And this model basically predicts whether the person has depression or not based on, or depressive symptoms or not based on their posts.
So as seen before, we conducted a short survey of 39 responses to learn more about what our potential users were looking for and what they would like in our app. So we found out that 69.2% of people would be interested in an app that would detect emotions based on their social media posts. We also found that potential users like certain features. For example, 59% would like resources for managing social media, 59% would also like resources for managing anxiety, and 33.3% would like resources and access to therapy. So we also looked at what potential users were actually looking for in the app, and some of those features are listed on the screen and are directly quoted from our survey. They asked for access to professional help, goals for screen time, and identifying social media platforms that result in the most stress, which would be based on the emotions and mental health estimates identified for each platform. We plan to incorporate all of these into our app in the future, and some were also seen in our app demo video.
We found a couple articles that describe studies on diagnosing mental illness using Reddit, as well as one that uses Facebook and Twitter. Additionally, some other research and projects from larger companies include IBM Watson, Google Cloud Natural Language API, Amazon Comprehend, Microsoft Azure Cognitive Service Text Analytics, and AlgoWorks and Depression Detection. However, our application differs from others since we are planning to expand to diagnose several diseases, and we are planning on providing additional social media platforms. Additionally, in future development, we also hope to implement some of the popular features from our market research survey, such as managing anxiety and social media use, which are features our competitors are not doing. As mentioned previously, our project is limited to only public accounts, since private accounts would go against technological ethics. Public accounts have registered to the platform knowing that anyone has the ability to interact with their post, but private accounts do not provide that functionality. Additionally, our data is from labeled posts and only includes data from public accounts. In the future, we also want to make sure that only permitted individuals are allowed to view the user's mental health information, such as parents and guardians, or medical professionals such as doctors and therapists. This is especially important since we do not want the user's medical information to be available to anyone other than those permitted by the user.
Evidently, this is a very entry-level application. As of right now, we are limited to only Reddit, and the current dataset we implemented only consists of a couple of subreddits. Our future development would push off into other social media platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Our code implementation only focused on depression, but there are several other mental health disorders we have the ability to branch into. As mentioned in the slide, there's always features to add, such as tracking progress, adding resources, and connecting with professionals. And that sums it up. Thanks for listening to our presentation on our application, Mental Health Evaluator. We would now like to open it up to any questions.
Which method of vectorization did you guys use? And what are the text-free processes?